says, Hemper's Tale coming at you with another lock video, and today I want to talk to you about transitioning from manicured locks to freeform locks. For those of you who have been watching my videos for a while, you may know that I haven't always had freeform locks. So going back to about 12 years ago, I started with comb coils, and over the course of a year, I transitioned to freeform locks. So today, I want to tell you a little bit about how I made that happen. So as you can see here, many of my locks are thinner versus if you look here, they are a lot thicker. After getting my hair retwisted a handful of times, I retwisted it myself at that time. I did go to a shop and get it done once during that time by an actual loctician. And aside from that, I separated them. So I went through like a whole stage. So I went from starter locks to manicuring to semi-freeform, where I was separating, to eventually just letting them fully freeform and grow together. So during that stage, when I was twisting it, I used different natural products such as shea butter. Sometimes I would use coconut oil. And this is around the time that I started my business and started developing my own product, hemp butter. When I went to the salon to get it done, I believe she used some type of lock gel. I'm not sure exactly. This was, again, over 12 years ago at this point. What I learned during that process is patience, because when I was first growing them, I was getting them redone because I wanted that really neat look. I wanted the parts, and I really didn't know otherwise. I didn't realize that there was even such a thing as freeform locks when I initially started my lock journey. So what I did learn is freeform locks is a thing, and it does not have to look neat, and it does not require being twisted every 2 weeks or every month. It just requires you letting them grow. Now, during the period that I was separating them, I would literally just let them start to grow together, and whenever I would wash my hair, I guess at that time I was probably washing it once every 2 to 4 weeks, I would just rip them apart and separate them at the root. And one thing that I noticed right away was that no matter how often I separated them, they would always grow back together in the same way. So I got to a point where I decided not to work against nature and just let them grow together, since that was obvious what they wanted to do. How to transition from manicured locks to freeform locks? Just do it. Just stop maintaining your hair, stop getting it retwisted, stop separating it, and just let magic happen. This is how our hair naturally grows, so there's not really any work that's required to make this transition. Definitely want to start with the mindset, because you are going to have people that ask you about getting your hair done. You're going to have times where you may think that you need to get your hair done, but that is all in your head. There's no right or wrong way to start locks. There's no requirement on how often you need to get it done, and there's nobody stopping you from freeforming. So it's pretty simple. If I could give you pointers, it would definitely be to make sure that your hair is completely dry before you put it up or wrap it up. So after you wash your hair, if you're not using a dryer and you're letting it air dry, you do want to make sure that it is completely dry. The longer it stays wet, the more likely you are to potentially have mold and have your hair smelling like mildew. So I think the best time to wash your hair is during the day, when you can get some sun and dry it out that way. There is a cloth that works super well. It is a type of microfiber cloth that absorbs moisture really well. I would suggest something like that rather than a regular towel, because in that way you can absorb a lot of the moisture before your hair is left to dry on its own. Another thing that I would recommend is if you are going to separate them, I separated them when they were wet, but I've heard that that's not necessarily the best time because it can leave your hair thin. So I don't know if there's necessarily a best time to separate or not. I'd say that if you are separating, just to be careful that you're not ripping your hair from the root. And then another thing that I can suggest is to not worry so much about the length. Locks, as I always say, is a lifestyle journey. It's not a sprint, it's not a marathon, so the length will get there in due time. So just let them grow. Realize that they might not grow lengthwise in the beginning, but eventually with time your hair will get longer. If there's anything else that people can suggest, if you've also started with manicured locks and transitioned to freeform locks, help us out. Drop a comment, let us know what worked for you, any of the best tips that you have for other people that are wanting to do the same thing. And if you have any questions for me regarding my loc journey, definitely leave a comment, let me know what it is, and I'll do my best to get that answered for you. And aside from that, I'd say there's no wrong or right time to start freeforming. Even if your hair is longer than mine, you can start freeforming. Again, the only requirement is to just stop retwisting it, stop manicuring it, and just let them grow. Alright y'all, I could go on and on, but I'm going to leave it right there. Thank you for tuning in. If you haven't already, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Make sure to go back and look at some of the other videos for some other pointers and pictures of my loc journey. And until next time, peace. Hey yo, it's Empress Hill and shit just got real and I came to trill. You already know the deal. And I'm here at the crib and it's feeling so good and you already know it's my neighborhood that got me feeling like this, and I only wish that y'all are feeling good too, and you ain't out here blue, and you're feeling real nice, and I like to pay price when it's worth it. Value, you already know how we do. I'ma leave it short because this rhyme is for sport. I don't do it for real, I just do it to chill, and you already see that this is where it be. With creativity, I just come spitting lyrically. Alright y'all, that's it for today. Thank you for tuning into this bonus content. Until next time,